Hey guys and girls, it is K0MRD, your radio prepper, and well, I am here at 150, waiting a few minutes so folks can get in and take a look around, see what's going on, let people get caught up. And today I'll be going over the UV5R, some limitations and understanding the 2 meter, 70 centimeter band. And yeah, hopefully we'll get this going. And no, it is not made for children. Save. All right, now I'm going to go back into YouTube, pull up my channel. Should tell me I'm live. No, not there yet. Let's see, I'm not showing it all. Yep, here I am. Okay, just give it a few minutes. Let's let folks get in. I started early on purpose so people can come in when they get notified. Hopefully the notifications have been going through. I'm unscrewing the wrong thing. Hello, there we go. Much better. Okay. So, evidently I'm the only one watching. Oh, there's two people. Hey, thank you. I got one like already. Thank you. Sherry Leach, how are you? Thanks for coming in. It's Saturday. It's almost 2. And today we're going to talk about Baofeng radios. That's been the common theme for the last week or so. So, yeah, I've had questions, and I hope today I'll be able to answer those questions, and people will have a better understanding of their UV5R Baofeng radios. I like them. They're little workhorses. They do have limitations, but, I'll go over some of those today. Yeah. I'm doing good. Still waiting for my test results. They haven't come back yet. So I'm hoping I don't have the plague of the 21st century. Although I have been feeling a bit run down, so yeah, there is that. So Sherry, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so today should be pretty good. I even got a whole little presentation to put up. I'll share the screen once it gets closer to 2. Give people a chance to get notified that, hey, I'm actually on the air. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully folks will come in. Otherwise, it's just going to be you and me sharing, and they can watch it in the rerun, which is fine, just so long as the information gets out as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. And there has been an enterovirus going around my area. It's basically a cold. So, yeah. Hopefully, yeah. But until my test comes back, I can't even go back to work. Joe Morgan, thanks for coming in and hurry back. So, I mean, the weather here has been pretty nice. It's like low 80s today. It's not bad. I'm not going to complain about it because if I do, it wouldn't do me any good. No, I'm a firm believer. Just go and live your life. Yeah, that's the best thing to do. Prepare for whatever eventualities you can. Personally, I started when I started prepping. I was worried about the zombie apocalypse, and movies like Night of the Living Dead and shows like The Walking Dead really kind of hit home. But my thinking is, if you can prepare for the zombies, you can prepare for just about anything. Yeah. Other than that, not too much else going on. Just getting ready. TikTok. I know. I'm weird this way. Yeah, I don't know how people are going to take the presentation. It's put together really nice, I think. So we'll see what's going on. Yeah. um, the first movie I ever remember seeing was a rerun of Night of the Living Dead. I was 4. Okay. And my parents were still together. So that's why it sticks out mostly. And all of us were sitting around our little black and white TV, and we're watching this movie. And my mother had made a cake. It was chocolate, and um, there's one part where Dwayne, the lead protagonist, goes up the stairs in the farmhouse, and there's a farmer laying down, his face half eaten off. I got scared and ended up with cake up my nose and in my face and in my ears because it scared the devil out of me. It ruined me for life. Oh, yeah, I've seen Double Tap. I'm waiting for the third one. Yeah, Double Tap was fun. I like Zombieland too. Um, except when Bill Murray got shot. That wasn't cool. Uh, but yeah, zombie movies have been pretty much my go-to when I'm bored. I'll sit and I'll watch old reruns of all the Of the Dead movies, and the originals and the remakes. So yeah, I I I, I love zombie flicks. All right, we got about 2 minutes until 2 Central. Anyway, and hopefully we get some folks coming in. We got 6 people watching, evidently. Or 5 or 6, whatever. According to StreamYard, it's out now. It's 6. All right. Hey guys, if you can sound off, let me know you're here. I'd appreciate it. And we'll get started about 2 o'clock. So, yeah. I have just been waiting for this test result, and it feels like forever. Stuck in my house because I can't really go anywhere. Welcome back, Joe. And when I do go, I have to wear the stupid mask that doesn't do anything. But, hey, that's part and parcel of it, I guess. Huh. Let's take a look. I want live chat. Here we go. Just changed it to live chat because, I didn't do that to begin with. Because sometimes I forget these little things like that. Anyway, it is 2 o'clock, and I am going to share a screen. I've got some information I want to impart. And there we are. All right. That should be coming through. Okay. Today's topic is going to be on the VHF UHF explained, understanding your 2-meter, 70 centimeter radio, and the limitations of your Baofeng. So this is probably going to be a short presentation, but I want to keep the chat going for a little, about an hour and a half. So, all right. First thing we're going to discuss is the frequencies for your Baofengs. All right. Generally, the UV5R, which is the radio everybody gets, is a 2-meter, 70 centimeter dual band radio. The frequencies for 2-meter are 144.1 to 148.0. All right. That's the 2-meter band. And the 70 centimeter frequencies are 420 to 450. Now, that's important because these are short distance communications frequencies. It's not going to be long distance. Okay. These are for neighborhood radio to radio communications. All right. Frequencies are in the FM range. FM, or frequency modulation, is great for local communications. Okay. Simplex, meaning radio to radio, the range is about 1 to 3 miles depending on the terrain. Okay. Things like buildings, trees, and hills can block signals from one radio to another in simplex. All right. Now we're going to advance. Repeaters. Now, this is a question I've gotten a lot of. What is a repeater? A repeater is an electronic device that receives weak signals or low-level amateur radio signals, like 5 watts on your Baofeng, and retransmit it at a higher level and or a higher power so the signal can cover longer distances without any degradation in sound. Okay? And I will show a very poorly designed picture. Here we go. I made this myself, as you can tell. You got radio 1, radio 2. Okay? They would like to speak to each other, but they can't because there's this giant mountain in the way. And they're 20 to 30 miles apart. Okay? Now, what the repeater does up here, radio 1 will transmit at 5 watts up to the repeater. The repeater being mounted high and having more power allows the signal from radio 1 to go a longer distance. So it will retransmit to radio 2 down here 30 miles away. That way, these two can actually communicate via the repeater. Okay? That's very, very simple, very basic idea of a repeater. I do not know all the technical aspects, and I'm still trying to learn. Okay? 20 to 30 miles is possible with the repeater. Like I said, if it's up high on a building or on a mountaintop, and if you have an antenna other than the one that came with the radio. They call that the rubber duck antenna because it's basically crap. I will show later the differences in the radio. If you have a better antenna, your signal is more prone to get out than with the rubber duck, okay? This is the question that I get a lot. But what about more power? having more power coming out of your radio is not nearly as important as having a good antenna. That is where all the magic happens. Okay. The antennas that come with the radio are good. They work, sort of. They do not work well. You can get aftermarket antennas from Amazon, and the next slide will give you my recommendation for that because it's inexpensive and it works well. All right. Now, there are Baofengs that are 8 watts. That much more power, I wouldn't go past that in a handheld radio because, number one, you don't want that kind of radiation up next to your head for long periods of time. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate that. Because it does radiate RF radiation at the antenna, and that much radiation next to your brain is a real bitch. I'm not going to lie, you could get sick. So any more than 8 watts, stay the hell away from it in a handheld radio. Hey, Klingon Princess, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Okay, radiation sucks. You don't want more than 8 watts near your cranium. Okay. All right, where can I get better antennas? Everybody's favorite online store, Amazon.com. All you have to do is do a search for dual band antennas, and you'll be inundated with them. And I do mean that seriously. You'll get a metric crap ton of ideas. The one I use, oh, thank you, Klingon. I'm feeling fine. I'm just waiting for my test results. The antennas that I use are the Luton NA771 UHF VHF dual band. It's inexpensive and it works well. It's maybe $20. But you want to make sure you want to get the SMA female, and that's supposed to be female, not feel. I can't spell, evidently. You want to get the female antenna, not the male. The male antenna has a nub protruding from the base of the antenna, and I'll show that. All right, SMA female is right here. All right, there is a spot where the male end of the radio goes into the antenna. The SMA male has a nub protruding out of it. If you try to put that in a Baofeng, it's not going to work because the nubs are there. It's just not going to work at all, ever. Like I said, Amazon, you can do a search. It's really not all that hard. So that ends this presentation, but not the stream. Okay. Hey, there I am. Ha ha ha. Now I will put this up. If anybody would like to come up and say hi, see what's going on. Yep, I wish the presentation was a bit longer, but I was short on time when I did it originally. So yeah, the radios themselves are great. They work really well. You can receive out of the ham radio bands. You really should not transmit out of those bands. You shouldn't transmit if you don't have a license, number one, because it's against the law, quite frankly. And no, I don't believe the FCC is going to come down on you with the black helicopters and the SWAT teams. But you never know. Hey, Great Lakes, thanks for coming in. I just don't want anybody to get in any trouble. So if you're interested in the Baofengs, and if you have them, please take the practice tests on QRZ. Take the practice tests on the ARRL website. Get your license, and then you can actually use the radios for what they're used for. Loretta, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being here. So yeah, that's the Baofengs in a nutshell. They're great little radios. I am not sponsored, by the way. If Baofeng is listening, please sponsor me. Help. Yeah. So if you have questions, put them in all caps. I will answer them as best as I can. And we can just freestyle from here out. You know, if you have the ability, yeah, that's true. Other hams will get to you, and they will narc you out. They're pretty protective of the frequencies. If you get a chance, could you like, share, and subscribe if you're not subscribed? I appreciate everyone. Yeah. The other hams will. There are people who have absolutely nothing better to do with their day than to go fox hunting. Yeah, I can. I'm not right now. The range of the radio is simplex, that's radio to radio, is 1 to 3 miles. If you program it in a local repeater, it could be up to 30, maybe more. Hey, CJ, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Yeah. The people that do the fox hunting have nothing better to do with their time than go around listening for people who are out of band or transmitting illegally, and they will knock on your door, say, hey, you can't be doing this. And if that doesn't work, then they will contact the FCC, and then the FCC will come and confiscate your gear and slap you with a fine. Yeah. If your life is in danger, if you are in a situation where life and death is imminent, use any means you have to communicate. That includes ham radio. You will not get in trouble for that. But you better be damn sure it is a life or death situation. You know, if you're saying, hey, I need somebody to call for a pizza, no, you're out. Oh, wow. 10 over. Nice. That's cool. Now, what Great Lakes is referring to is the 20-meter high frequency radio band. That's for basically worldwide communication. You can get on there with the proper antenna and you can talk to just about anywhere. When I had my antenna up the other night, I was listening to a gentleman from Slovenia, and try as I might, I could not get my signal out. But yeah, that was some pretty cool stuff. Me too, Sherry. I understand that. There's an IA QSO party going on right now. Really? Hey, great. Do you use Echolink at all? Just curious, because I use it on occasion, and I can talk to California from here on my phone, so without making a phone call. Echolink is another tool that can be used in your communications belt. It's strictly for ham radio operators, and they Yeah, like I said, I can talk to a repeater in California from my house in Iowa. And once you get your technician's license and it shows up on the FCC website, you can download Echolink on your cell phone if you choose. You'll have to supply a scanned copy of your license and your call sign. But yeah, that's actually pretty fun to do. And it gives people with a technician's license a way to get a feel for actual ham radio communications. So yeah. In fact, let me see if anybody's on right now. I'm opening it up. I know you can't see me because I'm evil like that, and I'm sitting here and I don't feel like turning on my camera today. Sorry. Yeah. I've been told I have a face for radio. So let's see. Let's go to Dewdrop.
On holiday in their own country, or at least in the UK. Nowadays, everybody, you've probably seen since England decided to make it a bit easier for travel, absolutely chocker.
That was England from my cell phone on Echolink. So, yeah, it is possible to talk worldwide with a technician license. A lot of the older, more seasoned ham radio operators are saying, oh, that's not actual radio. That's using the internet. Well, yeah, so what? Who cares? You're communicating, and that's what matters to me. I want to get my federal explosive license, but funding isn't a thing I have. Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Oh, thank you, Sherry. But yeah, just that's on my cell phone. But you have to have your license to actually. You can download Echolink, but without the license, you wouldn't be able to get onto it. But it is another way for people to get worldwide communication on ham radio. So it's one of the perks of doing the thing. Well, thank you, Klingon Princess. I truly appreciate that. You only use RF now. Okay, that's fine. I mean, you know, if you ever get a hankering for Echolink, let me know. My call sign is in there on the list. So, yeah, I'm in Zero Land. So, hence K0MRD. Let's see. We've got 9 people. Yay. Let me refresh that. Because, I'm goofy like that. 9 people and 12 thumbs. I like that. I just, the most important part of today was, in my opinion, was the little presentation I did at the beginning. And you can go back and watch it. That's fine. I if you do, I'd appreciate it. And it's basically just a very quick, very simple rundown on the basics of the UV5R repeaters, the frequency range, and things along those lines. Nice. 15 meters. All right. Costa Rica seems to be hot too, because when I was on 20 the other day, I was listening to, it had to be South America because they were speaking Spanish. I couldn't make out where or what part of South America, but I was able to pick them up. That's for sure. Hey, Great Lakes, what radio are you running? Just curious. And I'm sorry if you keep hearing pops and squeaks. That's my swing arms. I'm gonna have to replace this damn thing soon because the part that goes into the desk is a little bent, and I don't like that. But yeah, it was $12 on Amazon, so you get what you pay for. Okay, ICOM 7300. That's a nice radio. Yeah, I've got the ICOM 718 right now. And I'm still trying to figure out why every time I key down, the power cuts out. I'm thinking it's my power supply being too close to the radio and I'm getting a feedback loop. I don't know. Hopefully, I can get that taken care of. Otherwise, I will go back to using my MFJ 9420, which is basically 20 meter single sideband QRP, and that's a 10-watt radio. Militant Roots, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here. So, does anyone have any questions? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. That's not bad. Great Lake says, when I first got my tech, I would check into the local VHF repeater nets from my bedroom about 5 to 7 miles. Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'm glad I was able to do that for you, Loretta. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the nearest repeater to me is 12 miles northeast, or I'm sorry, northwest of me, and I could hit that no problem on my Baofeng in my apartment. Well, you know what? That's fine. If I did, that's great. If I didn't, ask anyway. That's why I'm here. Let me see if there's anybody on right now. Channel node. Standby 1. This is K0MRD monitoring Norwalk. Usually has a longer tail than that. See, and that's just it. The only time the repeaters are live around here is when there's a storm. When there's a storm or when there's a race or a parade or anything, people will get on and monitor and report, which is cool. But yeah. K0MRD monitoring. Yeah. So that's how it is here, which is why I like using Echolink on my phone. I can reach out and actually have conversations with folks in other parts of the country and the world. So, standby 1, please. All right. Now, there are a few rules that need to be followed for the FCC to stay away from you. Every time you key the mic, you have to give out your call sign. Yeah. And if you're in a conversation or a QSO, okay, thanks Sherry for coming in. I appreciate it. If you're having a conversation with somebody, or what we would call a QSO, you have to ID every 10 minutes. And at the end of your contact. So basically, it would sound like, this is K0MRD monitoring. Somebody would come back to me. We would talk 10 minutes later, just say K0MRD. They would ID. And at the end of the conversation, usually something along the lines of, okay, 7-3, this is K0MRD, and I am clear on your final. What that means basically is, I'm done talking. When you are finished, I will be off the frequency, if not off the radio. So, yeah. Last night there were some 2-meter trope. Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Okay. Tropo is tropospheric ducting. Basically, if your signal hits the D layer or F layer at just the right angle and the conditions are just right, you can have long distance communication with just your handheld. But don't count on it all the time, because it's not an all day, everyday thing. 125 miles away. That is amazing. I'm glad you got that. Yeah, the first time I had Tropo, I was talking to somebody up in Minnesota, actually, up by Duluth, I believe it was. This was back in 2010 or so. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the UV5R. It's a great. I've been saying it's a great little radio, and it is. It's inexpensive, and granted, it's not waterproof. It's not even water resistant. Although I have one that I submerged into a cup of coffee quite by accident, and yeah, at night. That's true. It does happen mostly at night. Um, I thought the radio was dead, and I was a little bummed because it was my favorite radio. It was the first one I ever got, right? So I waited and let it dry out for a day. And I'm sitting here and I was stewing on it. I actually have a video down in my playlist, or down on my channel. It's Baofengs and Coffee. Um, I would have to, great. I would have to actually go out, set up my antenna, get everything set, and right now that's really not going to happen, because I got people out in my front yard. I live in an apartment, sorry, and the front yard is being used by some folks right now, and I don't want to upset their apple cart, if that makes sense. However, you and I will get together. We'll schedule a time and day, and I will record it. We'll set the frequency and see if we can't reach each other. How's that sound? Yeah. anybody else have? Mac Loves Life, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Anybody doing anything interesting this weekend? Yeah, me, I feel like I'm stuck in limbo. Mac, if you have any questions about ham radio or the Baofengs or anything, ask away. I'll answer them as best as I can, okay? Or even just communications in general. Yeah, it would be cool. I would have to set that up in my shack. But yeah, that would be really cool. Excuse me. God, that was horrible. So maybe I do have a cold. I don't know. I just hope I don't have that other thing. Yeah. It absolutely would be wicked cool to do that. So, how's everybody doing? I hope each and every one of you are well. I hope you're, or record it, yeah. I hope you're all blessed in whatever way you need to be. And yeah. All right. Sterilizing compost. I didn't know you had to sterilize compost. I guess if you're going to grow mushrooms, yeah. If you're going to eat them, you don't want eating, stuff that's not sterile, I guess. Okay. Okay. Now, Mac, I have a couple questions for you. Do you have a programming cable for any one of the radios? Because while you can program these by hand, it is okay. Programming them by hand is a bit of a pain. Okay. I would suggest then on Amazon. Yeah, I'm not sponsored by Amazon at all. I promise you I'm not. I just get all my gear from them. You can get a programming cable for the UV5R. It's about $20, if that. And all right, 7-3, great. I'll talk to you later. You get the programming cable and then download Chirp. There is actually in the description, I believe. Let me double check that. There should be a link for Chirp. No, it's nothing in the description. Oh my God, I am such an idiot. Okay, I'll put it down later. You download Chirp, and then you can program your radios via your computer, which is a metric crap ton. Yeah, you're right, Princess. No more Radio Shack, so Amazon it is. And, in the 80s, Radio Shack was the spot. You can get really good equipment at a really decent price, but they decided they're going to sell cell phones and toys, and then they went bankrupt. I wonder why. You could go to Ham Radio Outlet, they're online. They're a bit more expensive, more geared toward ham radio people. But if you're just starting out, Amazon is the bomb. Yeah, can you? I honestly don't know. Let me see if I can. I'm on an Android phone, so let me see if I can pull it up in Google Play. And it's taking so long. It may be time for me to get a new phone too, so we'll see. Let me see. Doesn't look like it's on your phone. Let me try doing all caps. No. Unfortunately not. And if you have a tablet, it can. Oh, okay. Oh, iPhone. See, I have no idea. It may be on the iPhone store. I'm not sure because I don't have an iPhone. Not that I'm against them. They're just too expensive for me. But yeah, hey, I'm cheap. I'm That's why I get everything from Amazon. Truth to tell, Amazon and Walmart. Yeah. Um, but if you're looking, okay, it may be in the Apple store, whatever the Apple App Store is. I'm not sure what they call it, but it may be in there. Um, they can be programmed by hand, and I will put in my channel's description a link to that. Um, yeah, it's a lot more work than it needs to be. I wish it were easier to do it by hand. I actually have a Yaesu FT70, and all I have to do is put in the input frequency, and then hit the repeater button. Does it automatically, and I could talk on the repeaters in my area. But yeah, it's a more expensive radio, so I don't use it all that often. Okay, hey, that's great. And like I said, you're welcome, Mac. If you're really interested in doing it by hand, I will put the link to a cheat sheet that I have, and I'll put that in my channel's description. Maybe, maybe one day I will actually sit down and record me doing it by hand, which would be interesting in and of itself. So yeah. And I'm just looking at something right now. Well, I was hoping more people would show up, but it's Saturday. Folks are doing their thing, and it's early. I did this just so I wouldn't be stepping on folks' toes. Yeah, I try to schedule my lives for Thursday evening and Saturday afternoon, so people can work it around. I don't know if it is or not. I hope eventually to get better equipment and maybe some more subs. That would be nice. Not that I'm hitting, that's not that they matter. Well, the sub count doesn't matter to me. Okay, thank you, Klingon. I appreciate that, and I will continue to do so. So folks can decide, hey, I'm going to go to the live, or they can watch it in rerun, which is fine with me. I don't mind. And just watch the videos. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else I can think of? No. And we're coming up on an hour anyway. It's 50 minutes. Well, guys, I'm going to cut it here. I do have some things to do around the house. I've got some chores to do. And I will be posting announcements when I'm going live, usually a couple days before. That seemed to work. I got a few people in here. And I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your day to come and listen to me ramble. You didn't have to. I appreciate it. Thank you all for coming in. And if you haven't, give me a like, give me a sub, and tickle the icon so you get notified when I come on. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I will answer them as best as I can. Okay. Roaming Prepper will be on in 20 minutes, and Joe has posted the link. Thank you, Joe, for that. Well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. So I'm going to end here. I want to thank you all for coming in. Don't forget to go check out Roaming Prepper. He'll be on in about 20 minutes. So if you haven't subbed to him, go ahead. Give him a sub. Sub to Lake Fairy Prepper. She's really good. Bigfoot Prepper, Ghost Prepper, and Ghost Tanning. Both of his channels are great. Gray Man, he's pretty cool. Prepping 101. North Shore Preparedness, Northern Girl Hobbies. Am I forgetting somebody? Joe, you got a channel, don't you? If you do, go sub to Joe Morgan. And I want to say thank you all for coming in. Have a great rest of your day. This is K0MRD, your radio prepper, and I am out.